Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Spiritual Grind is back on the air.
Grinding it out, baby.
Grinding it out.
One bean at a time.
2 beans, 3 beans.
Maybe 4.
Soup, there it is.
I was thinking Jack and the Beanstalk.
I was thinking 3-bean soup.
Sometimes it can be a 3-bean soup.
Yeah, I got a special something for you this morning.
You did?
Signs everywhere, the signs.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah,
You like my singing?
I do.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
I like the signs.
You like the signs?
Yeah, they're exciting.
That's what my show is about this morning.
Love it.
Is, do we see the signs?
Do we see the signs?
Do we accept the signs, even though it may be something we don't like? Do we identify the signs, even if it's something we do like? Do we allow our human to interfere way too much because we have the human emotions based upon something that we view as harsh when it could be 3 times better than we ever imagined it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about really for me.
It's a good topic, man.
It is. It's a pretty big one because everybody seems to do it, and they don't even realize it. It can be minor things like making a right instead of a left at a stoplight. It can be driving down a back road on a motorcycle just to slow down going around the corner because you get the urge to slow down, and it saves you from hitting an animal on the road, or just whatever. And those are actually examples that we have been through.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we experienced that. I did this morning, actually.
So you listened to Tesla this morning? Signs everywhere, signs.
No, I listened to you.
Oh.
And you helped me navigate a perspective that I had that wasn't allowing myself to be open and receptive and see the excitement and possibility of a door that popped open for us.
Yeah.
I had a perspective that was based on someone else's actions.
I want to prelude something real quick.
Sure.
I think this morning was a testament to how awesome our relationship is.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes the monkey mind inspires things, and when you're spiritually open like as we are and communicate well, our communication, 99% of people would have arguments over. And
yeah, and I mean, even that, because our life isn't like that, I forget to conceptualize that, because to me, what we do is just the norm. And I think sometimes I find myself thinking, wow, doesn't everybody do this? But the reality is
no,
that
they don't.
No, they don't. And you're completely right. The interaction that we had this morning, for some, would have turned out into an all-out
knockdown, drag
bar
out
brawl, right?
and it's the truth, when there's signs that fall into your lap and you're spiritually open in your journey, you have to listen to those things. And I'm not really going to disclose what the signs that pop up is this morning, because I don't want to humanly interact with any of it. And
Yeah.
I just want to let the energy be open and free to what does happen. But when I brought it up, or when it came into my reality, I was like, that's odd. It was kind of like yesterday with our experience with the, with the motorcoach at the motorcoach place, and where I just got a call on Thursday from this guy. about doing that. And anyway, we went to the motor coach place yesterday to get a part for our motor coach, and we ended up looking at a brand new coach, and we may just upgrade.
At several,
yeah,
just because we were curious.
But this one coach is $300,000 off because it's a year old, and they didn't sell it, and so they're trying to get rid of their inventory.
Yeah,
and we would be stupid. I mean, to me, giving up on $300,000 in equity would be insanity.
Right. Well, and I think the interesting thing about the journey is that we went there for a part.
Yes, that was it.
That's why we went there. And in going there, we both got the nudge to, hey, because when you go, they always have motor coaches set up so you can just walk in and look at them. And there was a couple of different, there was a Winnie.
Mm-hmm. There was a Winnebago, just like
ours, but it was newer.
It was a 2024.
And then they had two others that were different brand, different flavor.
Yep.
Set up. And we were like, hey, just for fun, let's just go see. We got that nudge to go and see what they look like on the inside. We could have very well said, you know what? We have things to do.
I can't pay for that. Why would I even look at it?
Right. Or I've got tasks I want to get done today. I don't have time to do that. Instead of listening to the sign or the nudge, right?
Signs everywhere, the signs.
But because we didn't let those things dictate our reality, as most of the time we don't, we went in and looked around at the brand new Winnie.
We looked at the brand new Winnie, and it's a 2025.
Yeah.
It's same model of ours, not upgraded as much.
Right.
And it was $298,000.
Yeah.
And then we go look at another Integra coach, which in the motor coach world, Integras are like, the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
And because you can actually custom order them and everything. And that's what most of the famous celebrities use. Creme de la creme. But
that's the word of the day.
So we looked at this one coach, and we weren't impressed with it at all. We looked at the other Integra Anthem.
Right.
It's a 2024 year-old.
And it was nice.
Oh, it was very nice. And then we get off it and go look at the other Integra that was a 2025 and smaller, and we didn't think it was anywhere near as nice, but it was.
Right, but at that point, we were guessing.
Yeah, we were guessing.
Actually playing a guessing game on how much we thought that it was going to be.
They were wanting for it, right.
Yeah, and you were guessing very, very high. And I was like, nah, surely not.
Well, I thought the first one was probably going to be around 800,000 to 1.3 million.
Right.
And that second Integra we looked at, when I saw the price tag, because I was very disappointed with it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's hardly nothing.
And then I looked at the price tag, and it was $476. I was like,
what?
Shut the front door.
What's going on? So then that sparked an interest on wanting to know what the price of the other one was.
Yeah, and so we went back in after we got done looking at all three of them, and I asked the lady at the front desk, and then she yells across the room at Richie. And Richie says,
Richie,
440,000? What?
What?
What did you say?
Yeah.
No way.
It knocked our socks off.
And he said, yeah, there's a special deal on it because it was last year's inventory. And if you finance it, then you get another, it's like 60,000 off, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no kidding.
It was a very good example of what we talk about on a regular basis.
And following the signs. And why do you look at it?
We could have very well listened to the lie that was created of, oh, you know what? It's probably close to $1 million.
This is $1 million motor coach.
We ain't got that laying around. We've got a motor coach. Let's just move on, get our part, and go on.
And don't get me wrong, I love our motor coach. I love our little Winnebago adventure. Love that thing.
I don't think
there is a couple things that I want that it doesn't have.
It's not little by any means.
No, it's not little, but
it's cute to say little Winnie.
Little, yeah, because we used to have a mini Winnie, but
we did have a mini Winnie.
But the thing about it is when he said 440,000, I like to fell out of my shoes because I remember looking at one similar to that when we first looked around, a year ago maybe, when we were there for something. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And it was like $994 or something.
Right.
And I was like, when he said 440, I literally
timing
almost could have fainted.
Yeah.
And if we'd listened to our monkey mind and not seen the signs when we got out of the Jeep, we wouldn't have looked at it at all.
Right.
Exactly. We just went back to the parts and then came back and.
Yeah. And so I think what we're sharing this for is just to get everybody to remember that sometimes when you leave the house and you have these to-do lists and these objectives, if you're not careful, you will forget to see the signs and to just kind of go with the flow sometimes.
Because you may be missing out on a life-changing event. You just don't ever know.
Those nudges come in all different flavors and colors. And
because the prelude to that also was on Thursday, I get a call from our finance people that we financed our current coach through. And the guy said, almost everybody upgrades in the first year. And when you decide you want to do that, just give me a call.
And y'all been longtime customers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said, because we've used them for many things.
Right. We've used them over the years.
I bought 2 Harleys through them. Yeah.
And so he just randomly out of the blue reached out.
Yeah, on Thursday, just randomly out of the blue. It was like, why is Iron Horse calling me?
Right, exactly. We didn't ask for it humanly.
He said everybody finds out that there's stuff on these that they want that they didn't buy. Yeah. And so they end up upgrading within the first year normally.
Right.
And or they'll go to a whole different coach. And he said, when you decide you want to do that, let me know, because you will. Just give me a call.
Yeah. I mean, and the reality is that, that's our higher self saying, okay, embrace the concept because you're ready for the next thing.
Right.
You're ready for the next thing. I think it's also a very good example that we try to teach of you are where you are, follow the breadcrumbs and take the next best step. Because at the time when we bought the motorcoach we have, we weren't able to get from where we were to the 400,000 or whatever mark.
Right.
We just weren't there yet.
Stone. Right.
And so you've got to take the stepping stones on whatever the topic is. And that's a good example of what that looks like. We had to buy the coach that we have now in order to open that vibrational frequency of being able to see it. Being able to see the signs. Because we weren't.
Well, and part of that was my fault because, just 6 years ago, kind of give you a history. I had a 0 credit score because I paid all my bills off for like 10 years and I bought everything with cash.
Yeah.
And so I went to buy a bed and the guy was like, can I see your coach credit card? Because I've never seen a man of your age that has a 0 credit score. Are you hustling me?
Right. Are you doing something illegal? He literally thought we were doing something illegal.
Right. And I was like, no, I just haven't bought anything on credit in like 12 years. Not, they didn't teach us back then that credit goes away. It just disappears and your credit score disappears. I had no clue. I thought my awesome credit score was going to be in place still.
Right.
But anyway, so to make a long story short, we go through all this. We finally get a financing for a Jeep Renegade, and we working on building my credit back up.
Yeah.
And when we go to buy this motorhome, this was the really first large loan that we had, even though we did get approved for a mortgage. And that was a kind of an eye-opening event. Yeah. And so we went through the processes and following the signs of things.
Right.
The reason why we didn't buy the house in Daytona is because we were going to buy this motorcoach.
Right. Yeah.
And so we just follow the signs and follow the realm of it. And sometimes we miss them too. But
right. Yeah. But being open.
Yeah, being open to whatever it leads you to.
Okay, why is this in our reality?
Yeah.
Why and what we use to identify whether we should continue forward or not is if it's easy and graceful.
Right.
If it begins to kind of feel hard and kind of like a struggle, this many years of doing our process, we know that just because the door opened to give us insight doesn't mean necessarily that we're supposed to go all the way with it.
Right. Yeah.
And like the house thing, we put a contract on, it didn't pan out. We're like, okay, it's turned. The winds have turned into this. No longer kind of feels fun. It feels kind of forced. It feels kind of,
which would have been a great deal if the lady would have.
Yeah, definitely. But the doors were just not opening. The ease and grace of it kind of dissipated. So instead of being disappointed that we didn't get that house, we looked at it from a perspective of, okay, that particular event got us from point A to point B, release the assumption and the insistence that we've got to have that house, which leaves you open to, okay, what's the next breadcrumb? What's the next stepping stone of where we're supposed to go with it?
What's next on the list?
Because I don't know about you, but me, whenever I was looking at these 20 houses, I mean, we looked at house after house after house, and never in my mind was the concept of buying a mobile unit. But now that I have one, it's opened so many different
you can take
realms of possibility of many topics.
You don't just have a beach house, you have a mobile beach house.
Or a
country
glamping, or a, what do you call it when you go to the snow place?
Skiing?
Yeah.
Ski resort.
Oh, yeah. You see, you have a mobile ski resort.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just take it anywhere.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it is. The other thing is, you know, I can office out of it. I can see clients out of it.
We can podcast
anywhere I want to be.
Yep.
So if I've got a passive clients that are on the other side of the state, I just live my little hermit crab house up, and I go over there and see clients for a while.
She calls it the hermit crab. Maybe that's what you should decorate it in, is hermit crabs.
Maybe I should paint it like a hermit crab shell.
I know that hermit crab shell has got some polish issues that I'm dealing with.
Yes.
I need that hermit crab to be a little bit more clean. Anyway.
It's got a little bit of a wax buildup that's not.
No, anyway.
But that is a perfect example of what we teach as far as just being open and receptive to the crumbs and following the crumbs, and not being insistent about how it has to look, and following your emotional guidance system. When it starts to feel not fun anymore, or it starts to kind of feel yucky, releasing it.
Right.
It's okay.
Like yesterday, the very first thought I had was, this is doable. Mm-hmm. And I want to throw a little disclaimer out there.
Sure.
When y'all have a sign like that and say like if you were to use the motorhome thing, or if you're at a car lot and you're going to get a part and you end up looking at a new car or whatever that is, doesn't mean that you absolutely have to stay there, be staunch, and there's that word again, be staunch and get that new car or get that new thing right then, right now. It does not mean that. It could just mean that your higher self, your spiritual guidance, your God, whatever that is putting that energy into your reality.
Yeah.
And it's just opening your mind to a different thought process.
Right. Because societally, we've been taught to be I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes.
And so sometimes when you're trying to align with the reality of you having it, it's good to go and touch it, taste it, smell it, feel it.
Lick it. That's what I did. I call dibs.
Oh my God. Okay. Listen, guys, if you're out there at lazy days looking at the motorcoach and you grab the handle, my husband could have very well licked the handle. So wash your hands.
Excuse me.
That brings in a whole nother.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I feel like I need you to have a button that's the crowd booing.
Oh, yeah. No, I put dibs. I ain't booing my dibs.
No, but the crowd is, knowing that you've licked some door handle of some RV somewhere.
How funny is it, though? The parts lady said, yeah, if we take a nap in one of the motor coaches, they have to sell it as used.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So we went to the parts department, and I don't know, we got to gabbing about different things. And she said they get in trouble, big trouble, for going in the motor coaches themselves. And she shared with us that if they get caught by a customer asleep in one, it then has to be sold as a used unit, even if somebody hasn't like I would think you would at least have to pee in the pot.
Or drive it or something. Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I mean,
I don't know what qualifies motor coaches for being classified as new and not new. You know, like, because I know in cars, there's like so many miles.
Right.
and then they can do a program. Once they do that, it can go to a program car or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it has to go to use. But I was surprised by that.
I was extremely surprised.
So that's the secret. If you want to buy a motor coach, go squat in one of them overnight, and then they have to sell it used.
I don't think it's you that does the squatting.
Oh.
It's got to be somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I squatted in this, so now it's used, so now sell it to me for use. I don't think it rolls like that.
It don't work that way.
No. I think somebody else has to do it.
Even if you put dibs on it too?
Yeah, so no, I don't think so. So the key would be to pay somebody to go fall asleep in it. You find them and then go from there.
Like,
what are we teaching exactly?
About watching the signs. And
no.
we've been
I mean, we're kind of teaching people how to be unethical.
Well, we're just giving the information. What they do with it is up to them.
Right. Here's the loophole, ladies and gentlemen.
But so I want to talk about this as well and seeing the signs because everybody does this. Like, everybody has a spam folder.
Yeah.
And we have a human spam folder.
Yeah.
And things will come into us and we just like pop it over into spam.
Ooh, good analogy. I like it.
And so every now and then we need to go back and check our spam folder.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know what will pop up in the spam pile.
What are you putting in your spam folder of life?
Because when you identify things, like you'll have people that come into your reality and say things, and you may not think of it as life-changing or a journey, what do they call that? Radius? Or radia?
Trajectory?
No. When you go from point A to point B, what's that called?
A line.
Wait.
A journey.
I think it's called a radius, right?
No, radius is around.
Anyway. So,
okay, can we get all the geometry folks to come in?
But when those things come into your reality, and you may hear it, and you'll put it over in the spam file, and then you never look at it again. And so stop and say to yourself, I'm going to open my spam file today and find out, like, why did this random guy walk up to me at Walmart and say, you have cool shoes?
Right. Does that have some meaning?
It doesn't have a meaning to it.
Meaning? And do it from not only literal, but symbolically. Mm-hmm. Look at it from both angles.
Because it could be showing you a belief. It could be showing historical event, something. Yeah.
Or your next step.
It could
be the breadcrumb.
You could be a shoe salesman.
Take it literally and then take it from the symbolic. What does it represent? What does it stand for?
Right.
Kind of break that down.
Yeah. And maybe you're inventing the next new shoe. Who knows?
Who knows?
It could put you into a journey of craziness and fun. And adventure.
Just him commenting on the shoes could be, hey, here's your next step, symbolically. Open your eyes because your next step is headed in your direction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to like it.
So when those signs pop in, like, for me this morning, it was kind of like, why is this in my reality? And what a cool place to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it just opens more doors.
Yeah.
Listening to and there's always secondary meaning to these signs. There's always something that you don't see.
Right.
And it can, what was that?
What are you doing?
I swear
Listen, we need to get video. He's over here looking at his body part as it flings about when he waved his arm.
Do we clarify that's my arm? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, as it flings about. Well, this is not naked podcast.
Well, you're sitting there waving your wing about, not liking the way it flows.
I felt like I had a little fat jiggle in there.
You may have.
No, there's no fat right there. Okay.
Might need to do some push-ups.
Something. Maybe. Golly. I felt like my wing flapped.
Squirrel.
But there's always a secondary purpose behind these things normally.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, we were looking at buying a house.
Yeah.
And when that didn't work out, we just kind of moved on about life. And the secondary purpose of us looking to buy a house was to open our energy up to buy the motorcoach.
Yeah. buying a house, but being open to and not be insistent that it had to be
Right, because that's what we did. We humanly interjected into it. It had to be this way in this place at this,
like a secure place. Like, what do you call that? Like a non-movable land home.
Oh,
open up to whatever that house looks like.
Right.
And release that it's got to be this one or it's got to look like this.
And if we'd have really stopped and logically thought through it, a motor coach makes more sense for us.
It really does. We just weren't there.
Yeah, we just weren't in that mindset. Never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, higher self had to get us there. And we trust in that wholeheartedly, 100%. Yep. And so whenever that didn't work out, we was like, okay, whatever that's supposed to look like.
So I think a key to this signs, seeing the signs, is trusting in your own higher self or your spiritual guidance. Because a lot of times people will see the signs and they'll be like, why would I waste my time doing that? Or I've already done that before. Or you don't know, maybe you're going to have a new experience within the same experience. Or it's something that your guidance is going to open doors for you.
Right. Get you from point A to point B.
You have to be able to trust yourself and trust your higher self and trust your spiritual leader and your whoever that is, God, whoever. Right. You have to be able to trust, because we are taught, like you said earlier, by society to seeing is believing.
Yeah.
And then when you go to church on Sunday, they teach you to have faith by have, what is it? How's that verse go? You have faith by, or you believe in God through faith, not by sight. And so it's a confusing little bit of a conflicting belief system that you get taught.
Yeah, it's definitely a double belief. And when you're running both,
you trust through faith, not by sight. That's the verse. Mm-hmm. And that's where the trip up comes in.
It could be, definitely, because that's two totally different perspectives, two ends of
on the same item, same topic,
right?
Yeah,
and it can affect a lot of different things.
It can, and so trusting in your higher self and you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that on this topic and our own personal life example, just a good reminder of stop and listen to the spam
folder,
and just be lighthearted about it. And if it's nudging you to go and look at this thing that you feel like is even outside of what you have a perspective of being able to afford, even just take a fun little journey quickly and go in that direction for a minute and see what happens.
That's exactly what happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
It was one point I was thinking it was like $1 million. I'm like, I can afford that. And then
it was fun to look at it.
Yeah. And he gave me a number that we can afford. What? Where did that? That's a prime example of that.
Yeah,
is trusting. Just went through the process, and something told me to go in there and ask what the price was.
Right.
And so I did.
Yeah. I mean, that was higher self saying, "Okay,
I'm going to surprise you now, little boy.
Go see what the price is, so that I can show you the magnificence of where I'm trying to take you."
Yeah, it's kind of good. It was really cool. I mean, this thing is awesome. By the way, it's awesome. It's got air leveling, air ride. All you do is hook up the poop line and it electronically dumps the tanks for you. It's like insane.
Disembarking poop now. Please stand.
They don't just disembark. It pulverizes everything, combines the tanks, cleans them, leans the coach, and then pumps it uphill.
Right. It's a whole coach that's AI. Will it drive itself?
Almost.
I know, right?
It's got electronic steering in it. And it's got lane mitigation and everything.
Yeah.
It's got 360-degree cameras, burglar
Rosie, the little robot from...
it does have a vacuum.
That will make the bed and stuff.
It would be nice.
It does.
Got a walk-in closet in it.
There's a vacuum in the wall. All you got to do is just sweep the crap to the little...
And it does have a thing, too, a normal thing you hook up.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's because I'm pretty major features that are really amazing.
Got theater seating.
Yeah.
It's got a walk-in closet.
It does. I am eyeballing that closet. You know me in closet space, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It is. The closet is beautiful.
I dig it. Italian white leather.
Yeah. Marble flooring.
Marble flooring.
Yeah. Pretty elegant.
It's got all LED lighting. Oh, the coolest part is the underbelly. It's air conditioned. It's climate controlled.
Climate controlled underbelly.
Even humidity.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
You could literally stow away under there.
Got an automatic underbed.
2 knocks means I'm hot. 1 knock means I'm cold. 3 knocks means I'm hungry. Send food.
They got automatic tray system in it too. You open the door and you push the button and the tray just slides out.
Right?
I was just like, yeah, this is like the best of the best.
It is. It's an amazing piece for sure. It would be amazingly fun to play with.
Yeah. And seeing it's got it's got air leveling, automatic air leveling.
Yeah, with the airbags.
With the airbags. Or you can use the 8 hydraulic jack system.
Yeah.
And you can actually lift the entire unit off the ground with that system.
Yeah, crazy.
If you need to change tires, rotate tires, whatever. Which I wouldn't be doing that. I'd pay somebody to do it. But because those things are heavy.
Yeah.
Those are heavy tires. Air brakes.
Good topic, though. Seeing the signs.
Signs.
Yeah, because I had a little bit of a human moment this morning that I needed help navigating on another little thing going on in our bubble. And so, I mean, we're human in it. But like you said, the way that we go about that is giving space for each other to have the human moment, talking about it so that you give the energy circuit a place to make that whole circuit ground out, get rid of that energy so that you can actually see and embrace the true story.
Yeah.
Because essentially I was creating some crap that was basically just a lie, and it was just kind of hanging out in there, and I didn't really even know it was there. It was kind of that next layer leftover garbage about some topics that I thought were cleaned up and gone. And that conversation brought those up, and I was able to communicate about it and free up the energy, give it back to the universe to process, and put better things in place that are aligned with what we now are.
You put your hair up under your hat.
Yeah. And go to work.
Went in to ask him why.
I don't know what that is.
Long hair freaky people need not apply.
Oh, signs. Okay, I'm with you now. The song.
So I put my hair up under my hat and I went in to ask him why.
Yeah, yeah.
So every now and then you got to put your hair up under your hat and just go ask.
That's right.
Just go follow the signs.
Or leave your hair down.
Sometimes it's fun to pull it out afterwards.
The hair?
Yeah.
Like out of its follicle?
Under the hair.
Where you're bald?
Under the hair. Under the hat, I mean. He put his hair up under his hat and he went in to ask him why. And so after the end of it, he pulls his hair back out of his hat.
Oh, because long hair wasn't acceptable.
That's right. Long hair freaky people need not apply.
I gotcha.
It's the signs, man.
Yeah.
It's the signs, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So take those experiences out of your spam folder and investigate them.
Yeah, totally. Just be open-minded to it. And, even the urges to sometimes just go ask questions or whatever those are, that's all signs to do something.
Yeah. And, just to plug the Merck Center and kind of what I do as a holistic coach, that's what I do is I listen to you.
Here's your sign. Here's your sign. Caller.
And yeah, plug in that Merck Center. I'm open and ready for clients, new clients. Got spots available. But that's what I do is.
And so do I.
Go right. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm obviously not supposed to plug.
No, go. No, plug. Plug away. I was just jumping into.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in.
Interrupting
Plug.
cow.
How rude. I'm not a cow.
You're still doing it.
I'm not a cow. How rude. Okay, I'll shut up and look this way.
Anyway, good podcast. Good topic.
Yeah, it is a good topic.
Watch for the signs.
And I'll finish it since she wants to be upset with me.
I'm not upset.
I'm an interrupting cow.
If it was meant for me to say it, it would have been a little easier to say it. I see the signs.
I'm utterly disgusted.
With what?
Because I'm an interrupting cow.
What is there to be discussed about? Cows are cute.
I'm utterly disgusted.
There's a new whole series of cow art.
You didn't hear my joke. I'm utterly disgusted.
It went in my spam folder.
Apparently. Because I'm utterly disgusted. Because I was muttering.
Okay, we'll move on.
So, this is kind of a fun podcast. I'm kind of enjoying this one. I'm kind of enjoying it. Mm-hmm. The signs. Peaceful. Quietness. Just enjoy it.
If you're driving, you might want to tap yourself on the head to wake back up.
No, this is good.
You're putting people to sleep.
No, not why?
Because there's crickets.
Oh, because of the crickets.
Yeah, people may be listening to this to get them through their last 8-hour stint of driving on their
8-hour stint?
trip to their vacation spot, and they got that last 8-hour run to go, and they're looking for something to pep them up and get them going and do the last leg of the journey so they can get there on vacation.
That's what the signs are for. When you're going down the road, read the signs.
Yeah.
Signs everywhere, the signs.
Right.
And so, anyway, when the signs come into your reality and you start paying more attention to them, the more you allow yourself to be open, the more they're going to come. And you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's a vibration. It's a frequency.
Yeah.
And so if you start teaching yourself the habit of stopping and listening, then the frequency of that is, okay, they're going to listen. Let's give them more of that. It's a frequency. And so if you're aligned with the frequency of listening to the signs, following the breadcrumbs, then that puts you in that curious, excited, exploratory frequency. And so therefore, more of those clues will come in and come at you and be provided. And it becomes very fun, kind of like hunting Easter eggs at Easter. It's very fun.
Very fun.
Never know what you're going to find.
Yeah, there's sometimes eggs have cool things in them.
Yeah. The golden egg with the prize.
Got the money in it.
Always, right?
Always. And our golden egg growing up, never mind.
Ours always had money in it.
Yeah, I know we never had money eggs.
You never had money?
Only when we went to other people's Easter egg hunt.
Ours always had big money in it.
No, I always knew that we didn't find all our eggs because all of our eggs were real and they were hard boiled, and we colored them with regular food coloring. Never one egg, and then the next 2 weeks later, when I was mowing the lawn, I'd find them.
And it was stinky.
Oh my God, it's the most rotten smell you ever smelled in your life. When you're out there in the heat for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's the smell you'll never forget.
Yeah, it's kind of like finding the dead bodies. That smell you never forget.
Oh my God, so morbid.
It's a sign.
The sign of what?
The smell. Have you ever, here's a sign that a lot of people don't think about. Have you ever been craving something and then you suddenly start smelling it? Have you ever done that? That happened to me yesterday, the day before yesterday.
And that's
I was
how my
craving
body
cinnamon
goes.
rolls.
I mean, that's how I maneuver my eating, is that my body will have me crave, as you call it, a particular kind of food because it has logged that this particular kind of food will provide the various nutrients that my body needs at that time. And so then, yes, I will even go into a place where not only can I smell it, but I can taste it. I can.
That's cool.
Identify exactly what it is. And at this point, I've been doing it for so many years. If I'm craving, for instance, blackened mahi, I can go even deeper, and usually I can figure out by being able to smell it or even taste what in that mixture exactly my body is needing. And it may be the paprika component of it. And then I look up paprika and it does blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because I'm going through a little experience of needing exactly those components just to validate. And it's every time, consistently, without fail.
That happened to me the other day.
It's pretty cool.
First got up, I was like, I want cinnamon rolls. And then I walk out and I smell cinnamon. And then the chef is actually making cinnamon bread. I'm like, score. So I went and got a piece of cinnamon bread and 2 glasses of milk.
And the day was perfect.
Yeah, but the morning started out pretty good, yeah. Just the signs.
Nicely.
I smelt it, did it.
Very good.
So pay attention to your signs, guys. That's really, this is not a real long podcast, but I think I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, check that spam folder of life, man.
Always follow up.
Get those signs out because, how does that happen? We're conditioned. We're conditioned to stay on task, stay on target, stay on goal. And if you're processing those little signs or the lack thereof, not processing them, and they're just
wishing
noise.
Right by. Yeah.
If you've got them defined as they're just not purposeful noise, they'll go right into that spam folder and you'll be clueless. And it'll be like one of those situations where you walk in and it's like, you didn't read the room, Chuck.
Right.
And you start talking about something that is...
Because you know what happens?
Not for the room.
You'll have a sign come in and your human will actually send your sign over to the junk mail.
Yeah.
And it interferes with it. So check that junk mail, check the spam.
Yeah. Being aware, I think, is always the first key to any of this.
I agree.
Making yourself consciously aware.
I agree.
Because that unawareness state is what we've been taught to live life through, that unawareness. And so just getting in the habit and practicing being aware.
What does underwear have to do with it?
I didn't say underwear.
Oh.
Unless it gives you confidence to wear your underoos.
You said underwearness.
Yeah.
Kidding. Anyway.
Your superhero underwear probably gives you confidence.
Man, that Superman underoos, I used to fly around the house like I was really Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I'd slick my hair back with Vaseline.
Dadgummit, Jimmy, where's my Vaseline? I need to put it on my corns. Is that what your mom said?
No, they get mad because then I
Back
go
in
wash
the
it out and it
day-
got all over the bathtub. And
Back in the day, my grandmother used to put Vaseline on everything. That or Eucerin cream.
yeah, I mean, my dad and my uncle used to use Vaseline too.
My
Slick their
lips
hair
are
back.
chapped. Here, have some Vaseline.
Yeah, it's kind of like that Windex on that movie. The
Or
guy with
you
the
go out
Windex.
to the shop and granddad's putting Vaseline on some part so to grease it up.
What'd you walk in on your granddad doing?
No, not a body part.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
my God. TMI. I don't even want to know that visual. No, like if he's trying to get the cog to work with the, component on a metal feature, he would use Vaseline to grease it up.
You're
I'm
so
just digging.
Yeah, you're digging right into that hole.
Yeah.
Talking about Grandpa greasing his cog.
Oh my God. You're so bad. You can take
You
things.
did it. You said it. I'm just telling you what you said. You're making it fit right in there.
You can take things and go in such directions that are, oh my heavens.
Okay, Grandpa.
He's
Never mind.
laughing his ass off for sure.
Hey guys, we appreciate y'all listening to us and laughing with us.
For sure.
Do we have a website? www.themerccenters.org. That's MERCCENTERS, and that's where you can find out more about us and what we do. And you can call that phone number that's up there under the Contact Us tab and book an appointment for either one of us. We are accepting new clients, and come have the Merc experience. The Merc experience is great. And you can see us on social media as well, and that's at the Merc Centers.
I saw a thing on Facebook. Mind you, I don't know how to work Facebook.
Yeah.
But I saw a little tag that said something about 44,000 posts and that we're in some new category.
Oh, we are? I have to look. I don't know. Maybe we've had 44,000 views.
Maybe we need to have a celebration or a party.
Maybe. 44,000 views is
I
pretty
may
good.
be interpreting it incorrectly, though. I don't know how to work Facebook.
Maybe I'll have
That's
to
your
look and see.
area of expertise.
I have to look and see. Know that we have a social media lady for that.
We do. She's amazing.
She is.
She is for hire. She is a freelance and takes clients herself. So her name is Chloe. Mm-hmm. If you want some information about what she does, you can reach out to us and we'll share her info. She's amazing.
Yes, she is. All right. Don't forget to like, follow, and share.
And ring that bell.
Because what?
Ring that bell. Isn't there a song about ringing the bell?
Ringing the bell. That was a good show.
It was a pop song.
There was?
Ring my bell.
Oh my.
Ring my bell.
All right. Y'all have an awesome day. Ring my bell.
Love you.